Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. And I keep having to restart these things because I keep saying nearly senior citizen, but that boat has sailed. So, yay! Anyway, though, hopefully you are doing well. It is wet and rainy here, so I got to be careful when I go outside because my shoes, my boots, aren't quite as waterproof as they should be. So sometimes there's spots on my socks where my toes or in my heel or some such gets wet because a little bit of water gets in. Joy on that. Anyway, hopefully you are doing well. I have been doing. So that's a good thing. I have an appointment tomorrow at the cardiologist. But today is just a day where I'm surviving. I've done my chores in the community center. I walked down the microwaves. Thumbs up, that's my chore for the month. Last month or so, it's been things like wipe down the front of the freezers or wipe down the window sills, such like that. They try to schedule the lighter tasks for people that have more issues. So there we go. Yay on that. Now let me check here what I've got on 2 pieces of paper. I wrote some stuff down. Yay, little post-it notes. One of them was I watched an 1.5 hour retrospective on the Fallout series. My hair's a little floofy. Yay. And the guy was talking about the good and the bad of the series. He played them out of order, but he went back and he played all of them. And then he talked about them at the end. The good and the bad. Now, I felt he spent just about as much time glazing all over Fallout 4 as he did on 1, 2, 3 in New Vegas. And he loves Fallout 4. And I don't. I think the big difference, and I've mentioned this in the past, there's a difference between player skill and character skill. And I like character skill stuff because I'm playing a role and that character knows how to do things. So if I personally don't know how to do it, the character should. So if my reflexes aren't good and I can't do shooty stuff well, I don't want to play a role-playing game in an action RPG type style. I want character-based skill, not player-based skill stuff. And while I know it's changed a lot, there's a lot I don't like about Fallout 4. Just like the way I don't like Skyrim, just the way I don't like Elder Scrolls Online, I don't like Fallout 76. I have lost faith entirely in Bethesda, so yay on that. But even as he identified the good and he talked about the bad, and he said it's gotten bad in that they're trying to appeal to everybody. In a way, he was trying to say it's as wide as an ocean to bring in as many people as possible, but it's only 1/2 inch deep. And the thing is, of course, they're not wrong with what they're doing because they made a lot of money. They've sold more of their products each time. So people like me are wrong, and people like Todd Howard are right. Especially since he talked about all the things he disliked and all the things he hoped Bethesda would change for the next game. At the same time, immediately saying, it doesn't matter what they sell, he's going to buy it and he'll probably have fun. So, on the one hand, he's saying, I hope they change, and on the other, he's saying, it doesn't matter if they change. I'm going to reward them for not changing, even if they don't change. Why would they change? There's no financial incentive to change. You're going to buy the same thing. You just said you would. And if you do, why should they change? So, yay on that. I do the only thing I can do. I bought Fallout 4. I bought Skyrim. I'm never, ever going to buy any microtransactions for them. And I'm not going to pay them any money in the future for their products, because I have no power in this world. But I can withhold rewarding a company for doing something I don't like. It's not going to change anything, but I won't be rewarding that behavior. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, if you love Skyrim, if you love Fallout 4, that's awesome. Again, I said, this is a me thing. I am objectively wrong. Take a look at the sales for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. They're astronomical. I am objectively wrong if you look at money and fan base. So, there we go on that. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about here is I've mentioned I think about a lot of things, and in my whole cosmic horror setting, the solo RPG setting is still a part of that. There is one universe, the inside, which is filled with all sorts of creative energy and is an amazing place to be. And it's part of a conjoined universe set with the outside, which is a more normal universe with lower energy levels. Think ours, because there is a copy of our star and our world and us living on there right now. And there is a connection between the inside and the outside. There are all sorts of these places. They're all a razor's edge. It is a razor's edge because it is that thin connection between the two universes. It is a transition point where energy is downshifting from one universe and into ours, and there's a small backflow of our energy back in, but it gets up converted. The place that happens is the transition point. Human beings will live anywhere. We live on lots of transition points on our planet. The transition between ground and air. We live on the transition points, not all of us, between water and land. There is no place you can point to that fashion and say, this is beach. Beach is wherever the water happens to be up or down at. And we live on those places. So living in a transition point between the two works. Now, people that do live there, if they're a native of the Razor's Edge, have their own activated thrill seeker and adrenaline junkie genes. And a lot of humans, when they get things going on, they will have stuff happen where they can travel between the two universes. But on the Razor's Edge, there are layers of reality. And one of those is the solo RPG setting. And in this setting, with the continent of Carthcog and Lanlua and Stelden, or Stendel, God, I get word dyslexic that way, where if there is a combination of that, like Stendel or Stelden, I am going to flip-flop between the two of them for ages, and it's going to drive me nuts, but there's nothing I can do about that. But there's Lanlua and that other continent. Now, I have talked before about how don't try to force things when you're trying to do creative stuff. I had, with my setting, with the people who live on the continent of Carthcog, they are called Hulat, and the more bureaucratic types who aren't really bureaucratic, but that's the only best way to put it. They've been struggling internally and within the, not just internally, I mean internally as a culture, about the other three races, whether or not they are Hulat, which is people. The people that live on Kurthkog, they call Hulat as people. If you are not Hulat, you are Achhulat, which is animal. But the people that come over from Lanlua and Stilden, or whichever I decide it's going to be, they are struggling on whether or not they are Hulat or Achhulat. They wouldn't be animal, but they would be other, since Hulat, people, us. Now the thing is, I had mentioned that they were struggling with that, and then I let it go with why, fully why. And then came the Elvandri and the equivalent over on Karthkog, the Tandako, same species, different names. They were forced up out of the earth by a dark force. I had no real thought of what that was either. It gelled. It pushed the Elvandri up and out onto the surface. This took a very long time. Now the Orkani and all the other Hulat, but mostly the Orkani with their deep instinctive connection, they have a deep instinctive connection with the land, both metaphysical and physical. The metaphysical land, that is an actual force. And if you work against the land, well, if you work against the land physically, you overforage. Well, now the plants aren't going to be able to do what they need to do to rejuvenate for the next year, and you're harming an area, and you're not thinking of the future, and that depletes an area. You're hurting the land, you're hurting yourself. The land isn't going to be able to help you if there's nothing there next season for you to eat because you ate it all. So be good to the land will be good to you. But also metaphysically, if you work against the land is going to take care of the issue. It's not a fast taking care of the issue, but if you are doing bad things, if you are in a village that is, say, mining with no care for the environment and nobody's paying attention to the metaphysical part of the land, your people in that village may suddenly, everyone gets hit with a horrific, crippling migraine, and they're unable to work anymore because they keep hurting themselves so bad they die. And each generation is more animalistic, and they're losing their thumbs and becoming actual animals each generation. The land will take care of you, but because of this force coming up and out, I had also been able to determine Karthkog, of course, still has the metaphysical land, but Stilden and Lanlua, their metaphysical land has been wrapped up, pulled down. They're both going to die because the dark force, it will win. It's going to devour all life and then extinguish the planet and then itself, because it's one. But that is going to take place so far in the future. The only things left at that point are going to be like simple bacteria and funguses, stuff like that. It's far in the future. So, with these, but get back to what it was. Because there is no metaphysical land for these people to connect to, when the Orkani, with the deeper instinctive connection, look at these people, they see only 95% of what makes a person a person. There's something missing. They don't know what it is, but that's not there. And unfortunately, that connection that's missing, that little 5% is right in the middle of the most important part of what they would consider what makes a person a person. So we're all missing something. Well, the Goya are on Stilton, which are human, just their name for it on that world. They determined through time that those who have that connection missing, if they emigrate to Carthage, their children will have that connection. The parents won't, the children will. But if the children travel and immigrate to, say, Lanloa, their children will not. And again, if those children go back to Carthage and have children, they will. And so they are going to be able to determine through time that it's not the people, it's something about the land. That's as far as really they'll be able to tell. But thumbs up for that. Anyway, wanted to talk about that because that's something I've been working on in my head. And if I had tried to force it, I never would have made the connection. But because I didn't, I was out walking, thinking about these things, and it was, that's why. That's why. So yeah, thumbs up. Anyway, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and share it with just people that you think would like to listen to an old man ramble on incoherently about inane subjects, that'd be awesome. Very, very cool. And of course, I do have links down below to a GoFundMe where I am looking to get what is, I don't know pricing for what makes a really good computer versus a medium grade computer. I've got a hard limit of $1,500. I'm nowhere close to that. If things look like they're going through properly, it's going to be right around $1,000 so far. I don't know if that is, I know it's enough to get a one CyberPower PC that I'm really looking at, but because there's that extra bit, but I'm looking at a bumped up version of something like that. So maybe that's mid-range? Anyway, boy, this is a great sell for my my GoFundMe, isn't it? Me rambling on incoherently about, boy, I don't know about any of this stuff. If you could donate, that would be awesome. Thumbs up and thank you. If you are a Patreon patron, it is greatly appreciated. You have been taking me from here to here. And while in the United States, both of these places are not great, it's so much better to be here than here. Thumbs up and thank you. When you look in the mirror, you're looking at someone who is beautiful and awesome. And if you've left me a comment, greatly appreciated. I read as many as YouTube shows me. I thumbs up and heart as many as YouTube will allow, and I answer as many comments as my nerve compression will allow, which I've been doing a pretty good job at answering a lot of comments, so thumbs up on that. Yay! Anyway, greatly appreciated. You too are beautiful and awesome. Well, son of a gun, it's been almost 20 minutes, and I was thinking that with my two subjects that I had, I'd be lucky if I could make 2 minutes out of them, and instead, it's been almost 20. So, I hope you can get done what you would like to get done. I'm going to edit, render, upload. It's going to take hours, but yay for that. Anyway, though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very good thing. And I thought about what I had said before, and it's very true when I said, words of wisdom I have none, but words of foolishness I have plenty. You take care and talk to you later.